3, 2.
Stuart always has to remind me to smile. So he is Mr. Bossy Pants. Okay, so isn't he? Is he not Mr. Bossy Pants?
Marge in charge.
Yeah,
Yes.
Marge in charge.
Yes.
I love that. Marge, he is Marge
Oh,
in
it's gonna
charge.
rain on him.
And now it's going to rain on us. So let's talk fast.
Okay.
This is going to be the final stage. We've gone to all of that work to pot them up, and now we want to make sure that they send out those precious, treasured little roots. So how do we do, what do we do from this point on?
Okay, you would continue to keep it watered. You might want to cover it with plastic. In professional greenhouses, they have automatic misters. I have an automatic mister, his name is Ron, and it goes out and mists.
Okay.
For me. So you can mist it with a mister.
Okay.
Or you can cover it with plastic or
like just a regular produce bag or
yes,
something?
Okay. You might want to leave a little corner up so that it doesn't just get soggy.
Okay,
and
so you could do like
you
could do some chopsticks on all four corners,
You could
put
do
the
that.
plastic
Great
bag
idea.
over
Yes.
it. Okay.
Or you can use a cloche.
Or we can use a cloche. Now, Stuart said this looks like a George Jetson plant. Now, it is a scary thing inside Stuart's head, so why he thinks this looks like a George Jetson plant, I'm not sure. But it is really attractive.
It's beautiful.
And I think you could obviously use antique cloches.
Yes,
you could even use glass jars.
You could use globes from a ceiling fan light. They have the hole in the top. Those are perfect.
Oh,
If
globes
you
from
can
ceiling
find,
light. That's a great
you can
idea.
find them.
Or even, probably even one of those inexpensive aquarium bowls. If you really
Yes.
kind of wanted to make a display out of it.
Yes.
Or if you have a larger pot and you had multiple cuttings,
Yes.
then a larger form of coverage would be a good idea. But you can, so here you already have something that's just very sweet.
Very sweet.
Very sweet and ready to go, and then obviously you just take this off. Now, you made the point earlier, we're not going to put this in direct sun if it's got some kind of covering over them, because we don't want the greenhouse effect where basically they gets too warm, fungal problems,
Yes.
powdery mildew. So would you say, how do you, if you don't have a greenhouse, what would be the ideal location?
I would keep it in the shade, or you can even keep it in you know, a room, maybe your utility room,
Okay.
your laundry room, maybe. You know, it doesn't need really light to start with. You know,
Okay, that's important. It doesn't
once-
really need light
it
to
doesn't.
start.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you put it in the shade in your outdoor area where you can keep an eye on it, full sun in Oklahoma will just do us all in.
Yeah, yeah. Not only that, not only will it just literally scorch them, but it will dry them out
Yes.
so much faster. So should we check on them daily, every
Yes,
other day?
check on them daily. If it's terribly humid inside the plastic or the glass, you need to take it off, you know, set it a little to the side. Another thing that I might mention that I do at my house, if for antifungal, chamomile tea is a beautiful antifungal, antimicrobial.
I love
and
this
you
stuff.
can brew up a batch of chamomile tea. I do this on seed starts, and for you know, tomato and pepper starts, and that set up to be a little bit too humid, moist. Sometimes if you overmist or whatever, but chamomile tea will take care of drooping problems. And on new cuttings, you could do a little bit of cinnamon also as an antifungal. I don't know that I would want to use cinnamon, but it works.
Okay.
And that's all those are old remedies that people used.
Chamomile tea.
Chamomile tea
Do you
is very-
water it or do you mist it with
You
chamomile
just
tea?
water it, the very top part, you know, down into it. It's very antifungal, antimicrobial. Chamomile tea is amazing. But it works for,
Okay, that is absolutely
and
fascinating.
it's a natural, easily acquired product that you can
Right.
use.
So if your chamomile tea goes cold after you've
Yes.
drunk half of a cup, don't
Yes.
throw that away.
Right.
You want to save it. So there you go. Tell us again when we could expect maybe these different types of plants to put out roots.
The woodier stems are going to take 4 to 6 weeks. The tender new growth ones will run 3 to 4 weeks. The way you do this is kind of fun, is I usually have a big table of them. I don't have a huge professional greenhouse. I know every plant personally that way. But
I love that about you.
What I do is you go through, and I have these in a tray, and you give it a little tug. If it's resisting, it's rooting. If it comes out, you start over. So, and that's all there is to it. You can tell, you know, but I wouldn't do that until it's sat there for, you know,
for a while.
3 or 4 weeks.
And again,
so.
experience, I think.
Yes.
Experience would really let you know.
Yes.
This, by the way, you guys, is a lemon verbena that it looks like it has a future as a double ball standard.
Yes, I love that.
I think so too, and the fragrance. My favorite thing to use as topiaries or to do this with are herbs, by far, absolutely, whether it's compact myrtle or hardy myrtle, boxwood, whatever. Definitely, those are my favorite materials to work with. So I'm going to say it one more time now. We are going to do a whole topic later on scented geraniums, on all sorts of other things that it's really a whole new exciting world that Monica has exposed me to. They're unusual, they are special, and I think it's really nice to try to explore all different aspects of gardening, not just what you see at your typical garden center.
Well, the thing that really sold me, you know, that I fell in love with Linda is topiary. I have always been a real fan of topiary, and I have a very loose version.
Yeah.
But the shapes and the fascinate me. And so I have really been caught up with what she's doing, and she's been really good to me with being caught up with what I do, so it worked.
Yeah, it's
well.
very fun. It's
Yeah.
always, that's what I talk about here on LVTV, is building a community of people that you can reach out to. So poor Monica, I am going to provide her contact information. And she's got a wonderful website that you all will be able to access if you have very specific questions. We are on a learning curve here at LVTV, but we're trying to rock and roll on this kind of thing. So if you have very specific questions, sourcing information, anything about herbs,
Very good.
definitely. And tell one last thing before I give a reminder about the fall. But what was it your son told you, that any plant
that has a story will sell? He told me that when I first got into the business. He's in North Carolina. And he told me that, and they all have a story. They all have a very special personal story, or a folklore, or back in history, you know, goes way back. They all have a version, especially in the herb world.
Yeah.
So
when you get a plant from Monica, you get a story. Stay tuned. Hopefully this fall we're praying that we can do some kind of, this is a real special perk for just LVTV subscribers, and I know many of you are outside of our geographic area, but for those of you that are, we do hope to have some real meet and greet live events, and Monica will have some of her little darlings, her little babies, for sale. So keep a good thought about that. Thank you, Monica. This was so fun. We beat the rain. And until next time, thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.